All right.
Welcome back. Another beautiful Monday. I'm Alek Dincoff, voice actor and Q&A representative here for Steve Todd, founder and creator of Open Sourced Workplace, the version 1 and version 2.0, because the new website launches. It already launched. It's active right now. And I want to get into it, but Steve, how are you?
I'm good, Alek. I'm good. I'm glad the temperatures are rising. One for you because of how cold it's been. It was cold here in New York, but I know in Indiana you had a very, very rough time. I was thinking about you and telling the story to everybody this week about how cold it was going to be for you. But yeah, it's glad it's a little warmer. And to your point, super excited, relieved, everything about having the new site up. It's taken a lot of work, a lot of time and effort, and obviously there's a lot of stuff still to do, but really happy to put something out there that I think is going to be tremendously valuable to a lot of people. So yeah, super excited to dive into it.
Well, let's dive right in. I'm happy to talk about anything when it's now 50 and it was negative 50. So I've got a 100-degree jump here. So I'm in the best spirits. The website looks the best. Let's get into it. I signed up today. I joined, as everyone should. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful website. And I created a free profile. So there are free profiles on the website. And it looks like there are other versions as well. There's a premium. And I wanted to talk a little bit more about that for anyone who's watching these videos who says, hey, I would like to be a part of the community and join the forum, which is a tab right at the top there as soon as you get on the Open Source Workplace. What is the difference between these memberships? So someone signing up or going to the website for the first time knows, I want to do this one, or this is the best for me.
No, it's a great question, and one of the things I wanted to really tackle was so open source 1.0 beta was there specifically for end users. So those are people who work within organizations like myself, who work in real estate, technology, and HR, and this site was primarily for those folks. And I intentionally wanted to keep it separated from service providers to allow end users to collaborate, communicate together, share ideas and experiences without ever feeling the need or the pressure of a sales pitch or someone who is going to come in and just really try and sell them something and they feel relaxed to explain and give opinions. Now, obviously, service providers provide a very unique insight. They have experience. I mean, where I work in one organization, service provider will work across multiple organizations, see multiple situations and scenarios. And with that comes a lot of experience and exposure, and therefore a lot of insights. So I wanted to try and create something that allowed service providers to be on the platform, to help contribute, but also create a service for them that allows service providers to almost the really good service providers. How do you allow them? How do you showcase them? Where you then allow and offset those basically service providers who maybe are not as providing the same level of service. So that's kind of what I wanted to do. So I have the free membership, like you said. The free membership is basically a free membership. You go in, you create a profile, you tell people what you do, where you are. People can rate and review you. And obviously with that, the more rates, the more reviews you get. If you think about Yelp, it's the same thing, then people are more going to be inclined to be attracted to you and actually reach out to you. So that's kind of the sort of the low level, if you want, of that. Then I have a premium and a platinum level. And the premium level basically allows end users like myself to reach out to you as a service provider and get access to your phone number, get access to your website through open source, also directly message you. So basically people could reach out to you. So for example, you today, Alek, offering voice services. I could, as an end user, reach out to you, message you on the platform, and we would then exchange information. And then if we wanted to do any sort of transaction between ourselves, we could take it off platform. But in essence, it's almost like an introductory service. And the other unique thing that I sort of included was a quote. So for example, if I wanted to reach out to you and I want to say, Alec, I've got these articles, this is amount of words, are you able to narrate it for me? Can you provide me for a quote for that? And obviously then you would receive that, and that's all included as part of your membership. Now, whenever you are platinum, and this is where the key difference is. So if I have on the platform, I have 3, 4, 5, 10 other voice artists, then whenever I send you a quote, because they're playing a platinum at a higher membership level, they will also get the opportunity to say, hey, Steve sent Alec this proposal. I'll get this. Do you want to send this proposal to other voice artists as well, highly rated voice artists? So it allows them to sort of be, even though someone may not be looking at them, it allows it to sort of, the site will automatically promote their service as part of the platinum. And the membership fees, they're not astronomical. It's like $17 for the premium, it's $25 for the platinum. So, you know, for organizations and professionals who are looking to seek and actually try and find leads, it's a really small figure to pay. And who knows how long it'll stay at that level. I imagine that if you were thinking about lead generation, so on and so forth, what people are prepared to pay for, especially for the dollars that we're talking, what people particularly be spending, someone who's offering a service like you would be very different to a broker who could potentially make millions. The cost for that is somewhat different. But the whole essence is trying to create a platform and an opportunity to bring end users, service providers together with a little segregation, so service providers can still not directly reach out to end users, but end users have a method to actually reach out and communicate directly with service providers, and trying to create that ecosystem so that the best rise to the top and they're the ones to continually interact. Although today there isn't a rating system for end users, I want to put that in too, because service providers often have their time wasted by end users just reaching out and wasting their time. So I want service providers to be able to see who those folks are as well, so that their time isn't wasted. And that's just like, but it's got to be a step-by-step iteration. So that's one of the really cool things that I'm really happy and I really want to work on as part of the new launch. The couple of other things that I've added is co-working locations. So again, there's, I think at the moment I have like 250, almost 300 co-working locations on the site, all US based, and more and more are being added every day. So what this allows people to do, if you search by a city, you search by a zip code, it'll show you the actual co-working locations in that zip code or city. And obviously, if you've used those locations and you want to rate them and review them, you can. And obviously, then that provides a service and helps other people. Again, thinking about it, right? How do we allow the cream to rise to the top? And that's the goal of what I want to create, an open source. You know, just because some co-working location has the largest budget for marketing, there may be something that better suits and better fits and is providing a better service in a specific neighborhood that actually should get promoted. So I'm actually communicating and talking directly with different co-working providers, trying to find what is the best way to actually work with them to actually help promote what they're doing, and also promote and help end users find, and service providers as well, because service providers often use co-working locations as well. So how do we provide that better service? And then the other one that we have up now is conferences. I've still got some working on that. There's no conferences on there at the moment, but I have a list of conferences that I want to add that happened in 18 and already in 19, so that people who have attended those conferences can go in and rate and review, and allows then other people, as they think about upcoming conferences, to better choose and understand what may be offered. So those are just some of the things that we're working through. But as I said, it's just a relief to actually get it out there, get it released, and knowing that there are a number of things that are still being worked through. There are a whole bunch of stuff that I'm working with the developer. There are add-on services to this that they're not that, they're in the background, but you can't see them just yet. So whenever they're ready, we'll flip the switch on some of those things as well.
Very good. Very good. Yeah, I noticed all sorts of new functionality. I tried to, so before I logged in, I tried to jump over to the forum, and it looked like you have to be a member or you have to have an account in order to get in. So for someone just perusing the site and just taking a look at it, can you tell us a little bit more about what the forum is or is going to be? That way, if they're on the verge of, do I sign up, do I not, they know that functionality in the forum is there for them once they do.
Sure, that's a great question. So I want the forum to be specifically for end users. So I still want to keep this segregated off and allow end users to actually come in and have a place where they can go and communicate with each other and help each other, so they feel there's no sales pitches in there. And the way I'm trying to structure the forums is almost like Quora, where basically you ask a question and basically other people can come in and answer it for you. The other way is tips. So if you had a tip, something you did today that was great and really worked in the workplace, share it with other people and allow other people to take that experience and apply it to their own workplace. So that's kind of how I want to structure the forum. The other couple of things that I want to do there is have an editorial forum where people may have a subject matter that they want researched and some articles carried out or are done, by some of my writers, and they'll have the opportunity to raise those things there. And one of the other things I've just mentioned is, if other people have content that is educational and actionable, I am happy to share it on Open Source Workplace, whether you've put it somewhere else or whatever it is. That's not what it is. Again, I want, you take the whole concept open source. Open source means it's for everybody. Everyone contributes, everyone benefits. And as long as it's not a sales pitch, it's educational, actionable. There'll not be a fee for any of that. I know a lot of other websites charge quite a lot of money to allow you to publish content on their site. Open source will not do that. That's not the spirit of what we want to try and do. So the two ways to do that is there actually is a button on the website that says contribute, and you can go in and you can put in your information. You can upload a file, do it whatever way you want, or you can directly email editorial@Open Source Workplace, and from there we will review it and work with you to actually upload the content. And then obviously if you also create a service provider profile or an end user profile, what we'll do is that profile will actually go into the article itself. So someone reads that article, they can click on your profile and they go to your profile page. And if you think about it, if you are selling services, you have that information within your profile, and other people can message you and reach you directly all in one platform. So that's sort of the goal and the spirit with how we're trying to function, what we're trying to do in open source.
Very good. So if, for a service provider standpoint, if someone wanted to be on your team of elite writers, they could go to contribute after see what topics or questions haven't been addressed. They could go write an article, take it upon themselves, send it to editorial. Remind me again, is it editorial or editor at Open Source Workplace?
Editorial.
Editorial at Open Source Workplace.
Yeah, we can put the email in the link below or something.
Perfect. And so they send it there, and then perhaps they'll impress you. They may get a message back saying, hey, you are an amazing writer. Do you want to write more? So that may be something in case anyone's watching this and they're thinking, what's in it for me? That's one thing, but also helping other people. It's awesome that you're keeping everything very collaborative, very, not salesy, no sales pitch. It's just people, professionals helping others. It's very good.
No, and so you take yourself, right? So now you have your profile on the site, and people hear you, they see what you're doing, they understand more about you, get to know you, and they go, Alex seems like a good guy. Steve seems to trust him. I don't know why, but he seems to anyway. Why don't we reach out to Alek and see what he can do for us? And hopefully you're able to drive business for that, And, some people go, well, why would you do that? You may lose that service from Alek. And I said, if that's the case, then that's fine, because that means Alek's doing well for himself, and other people are prepared to offer him more money than I have. And that's just the nature of life, And it's the same for my writers. My writers are there. They're going to have their own profile. Other people want to come in and ask them to write for themselves. That's fine, and that's all. What's fair and good, and that's what it should be, right? It's a market economy, and that's just how it is. I have no fear, and I said, if Alek just turned around and said one day, Steve, sorry, man, this is just how life goes, but that's okay. But in essence, that's what I want open source to be. It means that it's serving the purpose where someone who's providing a really good service is getting the rating, getting the reviews, and therefore, because you're delivering that quality of service, your services are being that much more demanded, which means you can demand much more money, and that's just how it works.
Well, it's about getting good quality. As a side note, in the voice industry, as it were, everyone starts to end up knowing each other. Not everyone, but you end up working with professionals from all over the place. I like to think of myself as, I think they call it a level 5 manager. So when I'm done, I like to replace myself with somebody just as good. So you'll have, if that ever came, which it won't, I love working with you, but if it ever did, you'd have a handful of different voice choices in case that I would leave you with, saying these people are pretty darn good. You might want to reach out to them for a sample.
Good. I appreciate that. You see, you're just adding more quality to your service. That's good.
That's right. Like you said, it's all about helping people, open source workplace. So
it is.
Very good. I wanted to, I guess, switch gears, backpedal almost, to you opened it up because it was HR representatives, property. You had a very specific group. But when I go to sign on, there are so many categories now. I just want to touch a little. I saw architecture, right? I saw there was one for communications, which I signed up under, but I was still kind of torn because there was also a option for, it escapes me. Of course it does, because we're on camera. The thing where you solicit your services as a specialist, your consultation or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
The word is right there on the tip of my tongue, but for some reason I cannot remember it. But that's there as well. So you have all these different categories, one for service providers like myself, but also if you've opened it up for all different sorts of areas. So it doesn't matter if you're a professional in, X, Y, or Z, you can come on there and still post your content. What was the idea for those specific categories that you have? Will you add more, or is that the foundation where you want to stick with?
No, I'll definitely add more because I know I won't cover everything. And really what I wanted to do in those categories is provide categories from service providers who provide services to workplace professionals, right? So if you think about all the service providers who provide services to technology specialists within organizations, HR specialists within organizations, real estate teams, facilities teams, but also senior leadership, right? Because in essence, if you think about workplace productivity and employee experience, which is the whole ethos of the site, that affects leadership, owners of organizations, it affects HR, real estate, technology, all aspects. So yeah, there's a broad spectrum there for people to actually sign up under. And again, it really, and I know there's going to be a longer list that needs to get created because even today, I actually had a look and my writers went, there's no category for writers, so I had to go and add that today. But again, this is just the whole thing is going to be part of the process. So yeah, there'll be people who sign up and put under one thing, but over time we'll expand the list and we'll get it to fit for everybody. But to your point, it's a really important point you're making in the question, right? It isn't just for a specific group of people. It can be anybody who provides services to organizations that contribute to them maximizing workplace productivity, employee experience, and that's the whole gambit.
That's very good. I look forward to seeing this grow. I'm very excited about it. One, as a service provider, but also as somebody who is fascinated with the industry, right? It's going to be a great thank you. Thank you is what I want to say. Just from me to everyone else down the line, thank you for doing this, because it's so easy to jump forward and just start charging outrageous amounts of money or something along those lines. So thank you very much.
No, and again, it's like, so why did I start this? I started this because of my own frustrations, my own inability to find the right resources, right? So you get 5 minutes in between meetings and you want to find something because you come out of a meeting, there's a topic that come up and like, okay, what was the answer? What is that? And you try to dig into it. You just can't find the content. I want open source to be that place for you to just go to. And even if you don't find what you need to find, you can type in your question. Other people will help find the answer. Or if you type in your question, I will add it to my editorial list, and writers will come back and will provide an answer at some point in the future. So that's what I want people to really think about, is this is going to be, demand, supply, reaction, and let's see what we can do and help everybody. Because trust me, I need as much of this information as being provided in what I do every day. So I just hope enough other people find the benefit and use of it too.
Great. So if you want to look like the smartest person in your office, talk to your management, your bosses, the owners. If there's a question or an issue that they can't solve, come to Open Source Workplace, put it out there, wait a couple days or a week or however long, and our writers will give you a in-depth article to help improve your workplace. Life can't be better than that.
You're so right.
So I wanted to ask one more question about the website, because it is beautiful. Was there something that there's constant improvement always? Was there something specifically that you wanted to get in, but you just couldn't? Something that is coming, but you wanted to launch it, but there was something that just didn't make the cut. If so, what was it?
You're making me say more than I want to say, because there's a long list, to be honest, right? So I think whenever we first started, when I launched the beta site, I saw this as a step 1 of 10. I think with what we have launched this last week, we're probably at number 3 of 10. So whenever you take it from that concept, we have ways to go. And again, I'm not, what I'm creating today, I have in my head what it's going to be in 25. I just think that far ahead. And when I think about the technologies that are going to be available 22, 23, 24, if I can build the foundation in offering the service and bring enough people together, then the ideas of what's fermenting, I will be able to have a platform to actually provide all those services for everybody. Mm-hmm. And it's a slow process. The other things I need to happen as well is for the price of storage and server space to decrease, because some of the things that I want to do, that capacity needs to be a little bit cheaper. So there was things that I was really planning to launch, and the way I wanted to launch it, it was just cost prohibitive because of the amount of bandwidth needed. What I will say, it is around the job specter, but I wanted to change and flip how that happens. And how I wanted to do it is, let's just say, is video based, and just the video and the bandwidth that video takes. It's just tough to build that out today. So that's sort of what I will say around that sort of thing. But yeah, I have a long way to go, but I'm very excited about the path. And again, as I said, I don't just do this because this is something that I expect to turn around and this isn't something that's going to make me a lot of money in the short term. Absolutely not, and that's not the purpose of it. Two, my whole vision is what is this going to be like in 25? What's it going to be like in 2030? And can this be adding real and delivering real value for people in the industry?
Mm-hmm. Well, they say, I think I've mentioned this before, but it takes 5, 6, 7, 8 years to be an overnight success.
Yeah, it's so true. It's so true. And we talked about briefly last week about how much has changed in the last year, and I sort of think about where I was last year and where this is, and even the whole idea, the concept, and sort of what's being delivered. Like it's quite surprising how far it's come. But and hopefully 12 months from now we'll be looking back going, we launched that thing, and what it's like today. So let's see where that goes to.
Very good, very good. Well, I'm excited for the future. What you're doing is it's a large task, especially mentioning video and streaming, because bandwidth, the time, the quality as well, that's tough. That can be tough. I know that there's companies that have already gone that way on the internet. Certain One that comes to mind is Masterclass. I don't know if that's in a similar range or area that you're going, but they do a lot of high-end videos. And there's Udemy. Then there's, YouTube in general, right? Forget about all these paid subscription things. YouTube has so much content. So, but to make it defined, specific, right? I assume it would be very business appropriate and something everyone would benefit from. It's a large task. I'm excited to see you succeed.
No, I'm really excited because it's just completely different. And when I say completely different, it just like turns the whole job application, everything else on its head. And whether it works, I don't know. But it's something in life. Sometimes you just have to try things and iterate. But I think it's almost like so different that it may work. And also the way I look at it is, I don't necessarily look how things happen today. I also look at the generations that are coming through. How do they use video, right? How do they interact with each other? And thinking about that and what they're doing is how we do job recruitment today. Will that work in the future? Or will that, still be, or is there a better way to do it? And I just suspect that there may be alternative ways to approach it. I'm not saying they're right ways, I'm just saying there may be alternative ways.
So, there usually is a few different ways to get the job done. But I wanted to touch base on something you said a little while ago in this video. You mentioned server costs and hosting and bandwidth. Just for a perspective for those sitting at home, do you have your own server in your own office space, or have you gone virtual? If so, what was the choice there? Because I know a lot of people starting a website, I've done that as well. It didn't work out in the past. That's a story for another time. But I went virtual as well. I didn't have a server inside my own home. What was your thought process?
So, the first site was on Bluehost. And it was, a very inexpensive server that they provide as part of, you pick your domain and everything else. It's an all-in-one service, and it's really good for really small sites. I went a different approach this time because I went to developer, and it's not a WordPress site. It's a much more sophisticated site where he's able to put it on his own server where he has that. I don't know. I let him just do his thing. Obviously, we have a contractual agreement and arrangement there that sort of takes care of a lot of that. But I assume it's sitting in Amazon somewhere.
Fantastic. Because it's a lot. The initial setup for any server is quite a lot. And then it's got to be, and if your power goes out wherever you're holding it, it's done. It's down. Yeah. No one can access open source workplace. So there's a lot of pros and cons to each. Understandable. I personally had a experience with HostGator, if you've heard of it. But we'll save that for another video. Thank you everyone for joining us. I hope you're having a wonderful Monday wherever you are. Remember, like, share, subscribe, send this out on your social media. We'd love to have more people enjoy the new open sourced workplace. Thank you again for joining us. We will see you next week.